second grade. Today we're going to break shapes into pieces. That's called partitioning when we cut it into parts. Yesterday we talked about identifying the parts and how they are equal in size. We talked about how halves is whenever you break a whole into two pieces. Thirds is when you break a whole into 3 equal pieces. And fourths is whenever we break a whole into 4 equal pieces. This time, and they had it broke for us yesterday already. We didn't have to cut shapes or cut into parts, anything. But today, we're going to do the cutting and the dividing, which is called partitioning. Okay. But before we do, I do want to show you that there are many different ways that you can cut a shape into equal parts. And if you look over here on the right-hand side, which I'm just going to make it big for you, I have 4 rectangles. I'm going to divide these 4 rectangles, each of them, into 4 equal parts. And there's 4 ways we can do it. So, I'm going to draw this way. I'm going to cut it from corner to corner. And then I'm going to cut lengthwise downwards, vertical. I'm going to cut into fourths that way. And then we have across this way. And then I can also, you know what? I didn't make that even. Let's go back. I was thinking thirds in my head. I want to do fourths. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I can also do it this way. So you can see there's many, many ways that you can choose to partition your shapes. Some shapes will limit you though, like a triangle. It might be a little harder to do it in different ways, but rectangles give you a lot of choices. All right, so let's go back to our first page. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have your workbook page 251, partition shapes, because that's what we're going to be doing. All right, I'm going to use my red again, just because, like I said, it shows up really, really well. Okay, let's take a look at number 1. For numbers 1, 2, and 3, they want us to partition the shape to show equal parts. Label each part, complete the sentence. So I see 3 different directions, 3 different steps that we need to do for each one of these. So the first thing we're going to do is partition the shape. So look at number 1. It says halves. Now, they were nice enough, they gave us dots that we could use as guides. So let's connect the dots and divide our square into 2 equal pieces, 2 equal parts. Then let's go down to the bottom underneath that square and finish the sentence. Blank halves make 1 whole. How many halves do you see? Well, let's label them. We have 1 half here and 1 half here. How many halves make a whole? If you said 2, you are right, because we got 1 here and 2 halves. So 2 halves make 1 whole square. Let's look at number 2. Thirds. Step 1, Let's go ahead and connect the dots nice and straight to divide those evenly. Then we need to label them because there are 3 spaces, 3 different pieces. We know the bottom number is going to be a 3. So we're going to label those 1/3. Each one is 1/3. So how many thirds make one whole? Count them up. The answer is 3. 3/3 make one whole. Okay, let's look at number 3. We're going to cut this circle into 4ths. Go ahead and connect the dots nice and straight. Then we need to label them. We're doing 4ths, so 4 goes on the bottom. I can't make my point on my pencil any skinnier. Sorry, it's a little bit thick for this little space. Okay, so did you label all of your pieces? Okay, how many 4ths make one whole circle there? If you said 4, you are correct. All right, so now we've labeled them and we've identified how many pieces make those particular names, like halves, thirds, and 4ths. Now, number 4, 5, 6, and 7, we're going to partition the shape to show the same number of equal parts another way, and then complete the sentence. Okay? So, if you look at number 4, you can see that the cuts are up and down, like this. Okay, and it makes 4 equal parts. You do not have to label yours. I am just showing you kind of just to review what we did above. Okay, so now we're going to look at this one, the next rectangle beside it, and we're going to connect the dots to partition it a different way. Okay, does it show the same number of equal parts? They do. They're just a lot longer this time, huh? So look at the sentence underneath. It says each part is what? What did we label, or what did I label the first one right here? You can see it. Each part is 1/4. 1/4. Do you see the word 4 in 4th? Okay, so you write that down. Okay. You work on numbers 5, 6, and 7. Pause the video, work on it, and then restart the video, and we'll go over the answers. Okay, number 5, we're going to connect the dots across, and it says each part is 1/2. And if you couldn't figure out what the bottom part, the sentence was, that's okay. That's why we're doing it together. And 1/2 is 1 out of 2 pieces. Number 6, I'm going to connect those together. Does yours look like that? Each part is 1/4. And you can see the word 4 in 4th because there are 4 pieces. And I'm going to connect number 7. Each part is 1/3 because there are 3 pieces. All right, let's take a look at the bottom. Number 8, 9, and 10. This time they give us a colored part and an uncolored part in each shape. It tells us the colored part right here we need to write down the part that is not colored. See, all three of these choices says not colored. All right. They're showing us that one piece out of 4 here for number 8, one piece out of the 4 total is colored. How many pieces are not colored? Well, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces out of the 4 are not colored. All right, you do 9 and 10. Pause the video. When you're finished, unpause the video. Okay, number 9. 1 out of the 2 pieces is colored, but look at that. 1 out of the 2 pieces is not colored, so 1/2 is not colored. Number 10, 2 pieces out of the 3, 2/3 is colored. Only 1 piece out of the 3 is not colored, and we read that as 1/3. All right, so remember, when you're reading a fraction, whatever the top number is, that's the number you're focusing on. So this would be the number. The line would be out of, and then the bottom number here would be out of the total number of pieces. So let's just say, let's go back to my cookie that I did. I divided into 3 for all of you. Okay. Let's say I gave 1 piece away. I gave 1 out of the 3 pieces total. So it's 1/3. I gave 1/3 to each of you. And that's how you write your fractions. All right, so your next step is to complete the back page exactly how we did the front side. If you look at number 1 on the back, it says color each shape that has halves red. That means it's divided into 2 pieces. Color each shape that has fourths blue. And that's just to practice your terms, halves and fourths. All right. And then for number 2, you're going to partition the shape. You're going to cut it. You're going to connect those dots to show that you can divide it in a different way. Numbers 3 and 4, you're going to tell me the part that is colored. Let's see. It says, write the fraction that names the uncolored part. Okay, so mine has a mistake, a typo on it, because mine says is colored twice. So they want to know the part that is uncolored. So that's what you'll need to write. If yours says colored also, ignore that. Tell us the uncolored part. And then you have a time review at the bottom. So you'll need to do that, complete it, turn it in, and you also have a homework page 247, just the front. Okay. Until next time.